Welcome back to another episode. My name is Lawrence Ando, and I am a professional mechanical engineering technologist. And I have with me here
Stephen Mixon is one of the pending working personnel in, like Mr. Ando has said. We'll listen to Mr. Ando and see what exactly he wants to prop into about the engineering world that we are in the civil staff for the meantime.
Yeah. So thank you very much. And to talk about heavy duty trucks, basically or specifically the engine braking system.
When we talk about engineering, we were talking about heavy trucks. Heavy trucks are vehicles which are made for specified purposes. The engine brakes are just like fundamentally any revolving part of any machinery or any moving part of any machinery has specified what we call a power of rotations, and we can look at this by the counting timer of a watch.
What are the main or the basic elements and components?
Now, an engine itself is an engine. Usually, these engines are what we call mechanical machineries. But here we are specifically talking about automobile engines. So it means the automobile engine has something inside it which we call the crankshaft of the engine. And this crankshaft, propelled by what we call combustional powers, causes what we call kinetic energies to cause some moving parts in the engine, to cause power, to force work to be done by movement from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, reducing or increasing this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, especially or specifically on the reduction side, is where these braking systems come in.
Yeah.
It is just like I have a normal air condition in my room, and I want to reduce my temperature. I go to the what we call temperature high-low button and reduce the high-low button. And so the engine, which is the automobile engine, has its crankshaft, which is the main what we call a power production house or unit in the engine. It's assisted to reduce its rotational forces, which produce those what we call horsepowers or powers to move the vehicles, to move the load, to get the work done.
So talking about a vehicle engine braking system, now let's move to the mechanical aspect or the physical aspect, which has the impact of the rolling resistance. How is the mechanical aspect applied?
Now, the engine brake is a braking system, but it is not a braking system directly affecting the construction features of a car or an automobile braking system. The automobile braking system is done mainly by the footwork of the driver when he applies his brake. Now, this application of brake is done manually on the foot, and this stops the rotational force of the vehicle.
Now, let's focus on the drum system.
Drums are things which looks like what we call drums themselves, the drums that we beat for the music. The shapes of the drums are like that. But what it is that the drums brake are specifically made for commercial purposes. Commercial purposes here means larger weights or larger loads, more than a passenger car which is made of about 5 persons. The drum brakes will carry loads like cargoes, like trailers, what we call these heavy duty loads that usually are occurred in the shippings for industrial purposes and for what we call developmental project works.
What truck would you highly recommend to me or for me for my industrial works and industrial projects?
When we talk about vehicles aren't made because of what we call visual features, like the car looks very nice, like what we call a sonic aeroplane, or the car looks very nice and bouncy like an aircraft. It is the vehicles are made for specified geographical locations, ground surface of traveling tolerances for the vehicles to be driven on, which causes us to come to urban driving, town drivings, and what we call industrial drivings, and then we have also these off-road drivers. These type of driving situations causes these types of what we call braking specification that comes around with the drum brakes, what we call the hydraulic brakes, and also we call the foot pad brakes for those three types of category of braking system, which is not by the function of the brake system, but it is by the particular components that are mounted on the particular vehicle for a particular geographical location where you use the vehicles. That means your vehicle's brakes will not be specifically the same for driving on a highway, 6-lane street, and also continuous what we call driving locations.
That's very good. Thank you very much for your information. But then I'm a contractor and I need a couple of vehicles to work on my project. Which vehicle or which truck would you highly recommend for me to do my project?
Feasibility studies of project development differs from aspects of businesses. Now, vehicles don't have brakes just because we are driving there, we want to stop our cars. But we are giving vehicle brakes because we are driving on a certain a geographical area. So my car, which is in Australia, will never necessarily have to be the same as my car in the Sahara Desert. It's good to have such petty, what we call elaboration of matters in this present world that we are in. And so I'm also very happy to be part of automobile engineering sciences and understanding in the matter of what we call the braking systems. The braking systems, like we say, are always based on the engines and then the physical of the vehicle, car tires, where also the brakes are properly considered there, because that is where the power of the engine is given to the wheel to move your vehicle, to drive your vehicles. So we will continue to see how best we can do to give you the most lenient explanation of this automobile engineering in this aspect of your program. So you are welcome also.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate it. See you on the time. And this is Lawrence Under once again.